Hey world, let's talk about Black Widow. I'm so excited. um, First of all, you should know that I've actually seen the film in cinema a week ago, and I waited to film this video because I did just go blonde like literally this morning. I got a haircut and went blonde. I had planned that before, but now that I've seen the film, it's kind of perfect timing. So there's that. But yeah, I've seen Black Widow in cinema a week ago, and oh my god. The second the Marvel logo came on, I just started crying because it's been so long that I'm literally tearing up. It's been so long that I've been in a cinema. It's been so long, and a Marvel film, and with my best friend, and it was perfect, it was so wonderful. And I just started crying, and I was really, really happy. So yeah, it was really, really good. I do have some complaints, small ones, but mostly it was just a really good film. It was so fun. Actually, I talked about it with a friend, and she said that she was kind of missing like this Marvel humor. Marvel humor. And I think that's the reason I liked it. Because the Marvel humor she was referring to is the new Marvel humor of like Ragnarok and maybe a little bit in Loki, the series, and like, you know, that kind of... I don't like it. I didn't like Ragnarok, not only because it did Hulk injustice, but also because I didn't like the humor. I don't like the new Marvel humor. And since Black Widow is actually like kind of prequel, and it's like it should be an older film. It should be an older film. So it kind of works that it doesn't fit this new way of Marvel films, but that it kind of felt more like Captain America films, in that it's more serious and more like big stakes, and like we have to take this seriously, and there's backstory and there's family plot and stuff like that. Though I have to admit that the father was just a running joke. I'm sorry. I actually enjoyed him as a character. Some other people said they didn't like him at all. I thought he brought something to the story. I liked the way he had like his moments with his daughters. So yeah, I thought he was like... It was good that he was there, but let's be real, in general, the whole family dynamic was kind of off and weird, and yeah... It's one of... let's talk about one of my complaints first. Great start. The ending was rushed and not really planned out and not really thought through. Not only in the way that, are you seriously telling me that no one ever tried any of this to bring this big organization down? Like, really? That's what you're telling me. That's what we're going with. It's this easy and no one ever thought to break their nose before. Okay. But also with the family dynamic where like the entire movie we're being told that they're like not okay and they don't trust each other and it's all been a lie. And then suddenly, because they work together for like a day, they're a family again. Okay, I get it with the sisters because like these two actually went through something together, they have history, they're connected, but like the parents, they didn't really do much, and what they did do was like not actually with their kids. Yeah, didn't really... I'm sorry, but I didn't really believe that we're all a happy family now. But I do really like the sister dynamic. I think both actresses did an amazing job of the whole like, can I trust you, and like how far can I trust you, and we have history, but that's not necessarily good. So I think their dynamic was fantastic, so well done, so on point, and really because we spend the entire movie with them, and they do have this history, and they have like similar goals, and they actually trust each other and talk about stuff, and like they get vulnerable with each other. So I believe that those two are now sisters and are connected. Like that worked. Yeah, just that's as I said. The ending, not that big a fan. The credit scene, however, oh my god, the credit scene. Oh, it was one of those moments where in the group of friends that I went to the cinema with, I was the nerd who had to explain who this new woman is. And why she's important, because apparently none of the other people have seen the shows. And obviously I have. So yeah, really excited where this is going. I think... I'm not quite sure how I feel about the shows being actually important for the movie's plot lines. Like, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter and that kind of thing. It's cool to watch the show, and the show itself is like interesting and well done and everything. But it's not necessary for the movies. And now it seems that the shows are being made necessary to understand the entire plot line. And I think it's really cool to mix those two mediums. And I think the shows are really well done and they fit into the storyline. However, it makes it more difficult. It makes it less accessible to be in the Marvel fandom and like in the storyline. It makes it less accessible to understand everything properly. This would be an entire different video, but just like quickly, you know, talking about it real quick, it is more accessible to have everything on Disney Plus as well, so that people don't have to go to the cinema to see it, but then you have to pay for it, and not everyone can do that. And then if you just want to see the films in the cinema, then you also have to pay for Disney Plus to see the shows, and yeah, just Disney is a corporation company, and yeah, you know, they want money. So yeah, it was like a funny, weird moment with that and having to explain that there's like information in the shows that you now need for the movies. But just that moment was so brilliant where she shows up and it's just like, oh my god, now these two worlds are connected. And yeah, that's exactly how I reacted. I said, oh my god. Yeah, and the rest of the movie was really great as well. I just really liked Natasha as a main character. I was a bit worried that they'd mess her up. But I think it really worked. Like, she had a really nice fine line between, yeah, being a kick-ass superhero and being a vulnerable woman, just as an actual character. And I thought that they managed to stay on that line really well. It never felt like it was unrealistic, but it also didn't feel like it was too much of like, oh, she's the main character now, you need to know everything. I didn't like that we only got the whole Clint and Budapest thing in like one sideline. I wanted that to be a film. I wanted that to be an entire film. But okay, at least now we know what happened in Budapest. Kind of anticlimactic, but hey, at least we know. I also really liked her friend. Oh, what's his name? Marius? I think it was like Marius or something. Again, where did he come from? What's his story? Why is he only being introduced now? Did they even say his name? I think that's why I can't remember it. You know, would have liked a bit more backstory on that. Hope that he shows up again, but I don't know. So he's like, his relationship with her was kind of like with the parents, where it's like, okay, so suddenly this works. but the dynamic of the actors was like with the sister, because I believe that these two had been friends for ages, and I believe that he knows everything about her. So like, props to the actor for showing up out of nowhere and making me believe he was there the entire time. It was really great. I really want to know more about her life outside of the Avengers, and I think that's why this movie worked so well, because she's a really interesting character, and Marvel should realize this about all their characters. Like, damn it, these are really interesting characters. We want to know more. It's like when we're not fans just for the big ones. Like, I'm a Marvel fan for Hulk and Natasha and Clint, and I want to know more about them. And when you give us more, then we're happy, or we're happier. Like, yeah. Marvel, the big bad company. So yeah, I think it worked because she's a really interesting character, and there is so much to tell about her. And I wish they would have done more. I wish this wasn't like her farewell movie and now it's kind of over. I wish there was a chance for a trilogy. You could do such a great trilogy with the backstory of Natasha and then the backstory of Clint and then how they met in Budapest. Amazing trilogy. I don't know why they don't do that. But yeah, I think they did really well with what they did here. This movie was well done. This was interesting. This was exciting. The fight scenes were so good. The choreography of the fights, of the punches, was so well done. It looked so nice. It looked so real. It looked so fucking real. That moment when they fall out of the sky and they fight on a fucking brilliant piece of glass. Are you kidding me? It wasn't realistic, but it looked so damn good. It looked so damn good. I also don't know why they had to have white fighting suits now, but okay, it also looked so damn good. Just looked cool. Just looked really cool. I think they could have done more backstory on the whole Red Room, but then again, it was also really interesting to just like see it from the outside because of this like kind of mind control, so they don't actually know anything about the inside. I think they worked well with that because both of these characters have been there and they know that they've been there, but it's a combination of mind control and like coping mechanism to forget what you've been through and to block out details of the Red Room. So it works really well that we don't get those details and that we only get like the surface, and we only get watching those women in that room being taught to fight, and we don't know what happens behind the scenes because no one does, and these women will never tell anyone probably, which is like fucked up. Oh god. Like that, there were several moments where I cried. As I said, I cried with the Marvel intro. I then cried right at the beginning when they basically escaped. It was so dark. God. I really liked the young actress for Natasha as well. I thought, first of all, her hair was on point, and she really already had that like stoic facial expression down of like, I have feelings but no I don't. She really managed that. Well done. So that's when I cried, and then I cried when the sisters sat at the table and Natasha was cleaning her wound. So they were like kind of talking, and then I cried when she was taking down the boss and he talked about like all the little girls he'd basically stolen and basically ruined their lives, and that was just so messed up and so sad. And like, I know this is a movie, but damn, things like that happen. Obviously with like superpower mind control, but things like that happen. This is an issue. There are organizations that steal young girls from their families and force them to do things they don't want to, and oppress them and use their own minds against them and their bodies against them, and it's really, really stupid and crazy and sad. And yeah, this is a real issue, and I think that's interesting. Like, it's interesting to put that as the focus of a basically, yeah, blockbuster movie, you know, blockbuster movie, if you want to call it that, but to put that at the focus of something so commercial is really interesting, and I wish it was discussed more. Like, we get the surface level again of seeing the faces of all those girls and women, and that's why I like the discussions between the sisters, because they talk about like not having a uterus anymore and not being able to be mothers and not being able to have that life and not being able to get over that and over everything that happened there, and being mind controlled, whether it is actual mind control or something you were forced into. They talk about that, but I wish we would have had more of that, and I'm hoping with the storyline that we do get more of like Yelena, yeah, finding those other girls and those other women and bringing them back, bringing them into their actual lives and giving them the freedom to be their own women. And yeah, I really hope we get a storyline. I really want to see that. Yeah. And then the last time I cried, obviously, was at the credit scene at the gravestone, which was sad. But yay, Yelena got her dog. Overall, I thought it was just a really well done film. I really, really enjoyed it. I hope we get more of the kind and continue with the storyline. I really love being in the cinema and seeing a film and seeing a Marvel film and seeing a Marvel film with my best friend, who I always see Marvel films with. I really, really missed it, and it made me really happy and hopeful for the future. So yeah, this film meant a lot to me, and it was really, really amazing, and Natasha Romanoff is kick-ass and I adore her, and yeah, I just really, really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm probably gonna watch it again. Probably in the cinema again, because why not? So yeah, those are some of my thoughts on this amazing piece of art. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about this. There's probably loads of stuff that I still have to talk about with this that I just didn't think of right now. So yeah, let's talk in the comments. I hope you're well, and I shall see you soon. Bye!